Hello? Hello, Dylan. People hearing me? How many people do we have on the... I can't see how many people are on the actual recording on the stream, so it could be... Jump on the YouTube. Four people. We got four people in here. All right. Well, that's something. Okay, so here's what I have started. So I am going to be working on Ankong again, and my apologies, I do not have a romanization system for Ankong because I've been too lazy to do it. it's actually kind of an issue of like I don't know how I'm going to represent tones. Also, like I haven't gone through and done like the back analysis to figure out like what is phonemic. I can have an idea, but eventually I will get there because I'll have to get there because this is a language that I am going to be using in a book, and so I need to be able to write the names in ways that the general public can relate to in some way. All right. So here's what we got here. So these are words that I have made previously, like on a previous Lexember. And I have in here, so my process may be different from other people's process. What I did was I generated 3,000 roots with, what is it? Lexember, which is William Annis's word generator, using the phonology that I was going to use for the proto-language. Then I ran that through many stages of development using a sound change applier called phonics, which is what I use. I have not switched to Lexergy. Not sure if it will do all of the things that I like to do. And I created first the Leipzig Jakarta list. I can thank Jesse Sams on Langtime Studio because in one of their podcasts, she and David did mention the Leipzig Jakarta list. It is a slightly more evidence-based Swadesh list, basically. There was more like data that went into it. And then these are other roots that I have come up with. And basically I have it set up so that this is a random number. If I copy and paste this into the document, then it will go to that in the all roots, go to that row in the all roots and give me all of the development up to the two. There's I actually have two sister languages, and I should probably turn my wife's English thing off. Um, two of my two I have two sister languages. Could call them dialects, could call them languages. It kind of depends on your point of view. Um, ah, I lost Excel. And so when I'm doing words in Ankong, uh, I don't need to recover that. It's not going to be any. Then I make them for both, and sometimes they're going to have actual lexical differences. But for now, I'm just having all these words be cognate to both. Um, I think I may have. No, these are cognate. Trying to see if I have any that are not cognate, but I don't see any here. And so this language is supposed to be not Chinese, in that I developed it with an aim toward capturing some aesthetics of Chinese, but like it's not exactly what Chinese is, you know? So, like, there will be a lot of differences, but at the same time, it will it will have a lot of similarities. So it is tonal. Um, both of these dialects have contour tones, but one of them does a thing that Wu dialects does and splits up the contour across the word. And also that they are very heavily compounding, which is something I do. But they do compounds differently than Chinese does in a little way. Okay, so my goal here is to try to get 9 words because I skipped the first 2 days of Lexember. So I want a week's worth plus 2 more, right? So, anybody want to suggest words that I should have? Am I getting chat here? Well, okay. Well, I can just be thinking of words that I want to do then. And I have been checking. Let's go and actually look at some words that other people have been doing. So go to Lexember. So, meal. Meal. Okay. Um, Dylan, it doesn't really matter to me so much how, I mean, you can just throw out ideas like brainstorming and I will pick something. So somebody mentioned dinner. Let me think about that. Okay, so can I switch so that you guys can see the Firefox? Okay. And why is this? Okay. Get this out of my way. So let's take a look at clicks for that and let's kind of look at what kinds of associations you could have for dinner. I'm going to zoom in so that people can see. And let's go for meal. Subgraph. Let's take a time to load. Since it's a pretty basic concept, then clicks is a pretty good way to go. So meal and food, obviously. You got dinner and lunch can be associated with meal, so they could be the same word. They could be related words. Flour, uh, bait, rice. That is not a super common one, but considering I'm saying not Chinese, and I know that. Dylan, I'll do. Yeah, maybe we'll think about preserve and spoil in a minute. So thinking about that. So since I am doing this not Chinese, I don't know if they're going to have the same thing that Chinese does where rice ends up with with that kind of connotation of being all food. In Chinese, to eat is 吃饭. It's literally eat rice. Um, but that might be a little bit too on the nose for me to do. Now let me go back to Excel. Yes, I know Excel is kind of strange. So they do eat rice, and I even have a word for rice noodles that is pichit or pichit. It's pulled rice, assuming that the noodles are made by making a dough and pulling it, which is one technique to make noodles. There's different ones. So rice is a thing. Um, I have in other places been inspired by Chinese cuisine. You see that I have words for pig face, pig foot, and noodles, steamed bread, rice noodles, the Chinese cabbage, and the bok choy. So, maybe, since I've got a lot of food words, but I don't have a word for just meal. Okay. So let me actually do another thing that I often do, and that is I can look this up on Wiktionary because I have something to do with rice, maybe doing it. Another thing you could do is like general vegetables. Rice serve. Rice serve. That might be interesting. Rice serving rice or a serving of rice or a bowl of rice. Because usually, like in China, if you're eating rice, you eat a bowl of rice with your food. Hi, Carl Buck. How you doing? Okay, we got people joining now. Let me check and see. Okay, we got a few people here. Not as much as Langtime Studio gets, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, Miles, I'm liking your idea of serving rice, but yeah, I think that do I want to do a bowl of rice or I want to do serve rice? I think I think that I'm not going to do that. I think I am going to go with a bowl, and let me show you guys Excel again. And so serve rice might be something I do later. Let me make a note rice. Think about that might be some like euphemism or something that I can come back to, or a term for being a servant, something like that. That might be useful later, but I think I'm going to go with a meal being a bowl of rice, and maybe there can be an alternate that's a bowl of noodles, and bring the same dichotomy that uh, China in the real world has of like in the real world China in the north it's noodle eaters, in the south it's rice eaters. I don't know the geography of this country well enough to know if that's going to be the same or maybe it's going to be flipped, because I had one idea of the world that it was going to be like upside down world, but I can do go with rice bowl. Now, noun compounds. How did I do? So for noun compounds, it was like the modifier and then the head. Um, right. Whereas no. Okay. It seems like it's a little bit irregular. Um, yeah, sometimes I have the head in the front. Sometimes I don't really have a head. Sometimes I have the head in the front, but sheep coat. No, I usually have the head in the front. Yeah, so this is one way I was making it. This is the not part in not Chinese is I'm doing mostly head initial compounds instead of head final compounds, which is what Chinese does. Okay, so we want then if it's head initial, so it would be bowl rice. And I have a word for rice here. So Control C and copy that over here. Paste the values. So it looks like it's P in both. P. That's a low to a mid. And I do not think I have a word for bowl. Let me just double check. Okay, so I do not have bowl. Do I have dish? Okay. So here is the thing that I need to do then. Can I do polls right from this thing? Let me think about how I'm going, what I'm going to do. So I have a bunch of roots that I've generated and not used here, right? Or I'm picked out and not used. So looking at these, I don't know. What do you guys think of? These are all in IPA, so you can just read them as they are. And looking at these two columns particularly, because those are the two dialects that I'm working with, the two dialects or related languages that I'm working with. What are of those do people feel like fit bowl well? I kind of like rounded for it, shapes for it. Poo, or poop. I don't like that. I'm not going to use that. Do works. Yeah. Whoop. Whoop. It's a funny sound almost, huh? Whoop or moot. Moot. pool. The thing is, I've used pool several times, I think, um, and that's not terrible because like the amount of reduction I'm doing in the sound changes is going to make a ton of homophones. Um, but at the same time, if I see something and I'm like, I've used that several times, maybe I don't want to use it again. Dwa Dwa feels like a bowl to me. What do you guys think about Dwa for a bowl? Oh, it's too small? Yeah. My monitor is gigantic, so I can understand that. Let's see. Control. How how do I up escape? Why is it not? Okay. The zoom is not working right now. Hold on. Is it? No, I have a cell selected and it's not. Hold on. View. Let's go to 200%. There. Can you guys see them now? So take a look at these roots. What do people? Row 49. Somebody says row 49. Do do. Yeah. So dwa or do. Yeah. I think that works. Yeah, let's go with do, and that will be bowl. And I can figure out what that came from later. It's not a huge deal for me to want to do. So, DOP. So, this is the same in both, right? What was the dual? Yeah. Dual B, dual B, dual B. That works. And then I need to. Which one of these is the? Yeah. So, Control C, Control V, and then I have to. Yes. Wait. Okay. I'm gotta be. Yes. So. Yeah. Okay. So this one is the one that has the contours. This one. So what happens when you have? Let me just try to find another. Did I really want it to just keep it? I feel like that was not my intention. Beep, beep, butch. Oi, butch. Oi. I think I have actually messed up. Let me double check. Okay, so this has the floating tone. So this one is the one where they're supposed to move. And I'm going to say that deletes. And I'm going to have to remember to go back through and fix some of my previous ones. So meal. So, and we'll stop at meal and look at the look at that later. So this is our count. We've got one word for today. Let's let's hope we can get things moving faster than that. So I like both preserve and spoil. Let's start looking at those ones. So let's go in here. Um, plus, I don't really have any preconceived notions about what to um, do in that case. So we can go, let's preserve. Yes, preserve has its own stuff. Preserve, keep, hold, defend, protect, guard. These are all kind of abstract. So let me also go to Wiktionary and also think about, and you can see preserve. And let's see. So the English one is from Middle English, from Old French preserver, perseveres, keep or preserve, from guard beforehand. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to think in that terms. But, so here's the thing about Wiktionary that is super cool. Is you can go and look up, I think we're going to keep or maintain the condition of and let it be. So you take a look. It looks like a lot of Romance languages make it the same as conserve, which looks like it's just going to be like with keep. So that's not really a thing that I'm interested in. Interestingly, they don't have any Chinese translations here. I'm sure they do have a word. So here's the Khmer word. And it's from Sanskrit raksha. Oh, that's a good idea. Do they preserve by smoking or salting, etc.? That's a good question. Thinking about preservation techniques that are used in real China. There's the alkalizing, but that's really just for eggs. I mean, lots of cultures use salt for preservation. Lots of cultures will use smoking, but I don't think it's common. It's not common in Chinese culture. Am I going to make it more common in this culture? I'm not sure. Drying is another thing that people do. Let's look at this. This is from to defend. Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm getting a lot of words that are still pretty abstract in their originals. So I don't know if I necessarily am going to be going with it. Let's see. It looks like Irish has a separate root. Let's look at what Leas. Okay. That's an interesting bunch of meanings. Yeah. Maybe the words are different depending on the food considered. Yeah. Well, I mean, you preserve you preserve noodles by drying them out, right? You preserve meats probably by salting them. Um, there are a lot of different ways curing, which is usually uses some kind of salt, maybe other seasonings involved, huh? Um, and this is really similar to. I think I'm going to just just go with keep, and I can let's see. So let's put our thing here. Put preserve in here. And let's come back to that. Let's look at spoil, because that might be something that we could do a little bit more with just quickly. So let's go with spoil, concepts, spoil, spoil something, become spoiled is what we're looking at, right? So become spoiled, rot. It's associated with rot. Let's actually go to the info map for rot, and it's just rot and spoil, which, like, obviously. Yeah. Something like guarding against spoilage is something I'm thinking about. Um, so let's actually go somewhere else. Let's look for, this is that sem shifts, and it does semantic shifts. So we go to spoil intransitive and see what turns into that. To go down, to disappear, unripe, old, die. Ah, it died. The bananas died. That's the meat died. That's an interesting thought. It's only one. They only have one case of that, and it's a polysemy too. Okay, so something dies. I think warding against death would be different. Maybe something that used to mean die became spoil. Oh. Okay. No. Let's do this. So let's go. Okay. I have ideas in my head that are all coming together, and you guys are helping me, bringing me ideas. So let's figure out what fresh, good, new, cold, beautiful, like good with through good can be beautiful. Um, let's just make a word for fresh, and let me see here. And so here we get a root here. And okay, anybody got an idea of what sounds like fresh in here? And I can pull out another root. Let's see. We got ya, na, t, p, dick, whoop, moot. Moot sounds good. I like moot for fresh. So, and then mum, poo, toi. Why I like it, I don't know, but fresh, moot, moot, moot. I like this to be fresh. And so this is the root that means fresh. And what we're going to do is so something that spoils has become unfresh. It has lost its freshness. Okay, we've got some other words here that I haven't used that moi. Moi. And it was inam. Inam became moi. I think I like this. Okay. Yes. Did I have... Oh, okay. Die. Die might be in here. Troll. Okay. I don't have a word for die. And I think wah. Yes. Okay, this is die. Do I have... So this can be fresh or freshness is what I'm going with here. And so what we're going to do for spoil is, do I have... Yeah, so I have rice pool. So we have noun verb. What we're going to do is we're going to have fresh die. Yeah, and I can delete these. Mult. Mutwa. Mutwa. Is that it? What did I make? Mutwa. Mutwa. Let me make sure I get this. Wa. So it's nasal. Mutwa. Why is it not letting me paste? What did I do? Control. Control C, Control V. So something that's spoiled, its freshness has died. Yeah, okay. And something that you are preserving, you're trying to keep the freshness. Tell me I have a word for keep. Look for hold. Okay. So I don't have keep or hold. No, it's not. That's not on. These are not. So, okay. So we're going to... I'm just going to make a word for keep. Let's just go ahead and grab another root here. And then you guys can see how this works. Do I suggest everybody do this? No. But it works for me. Dup. I think I have dup meaning something else, but I think it's okay. So we're going to say that this meant hold. Oh, no, it changed. Do I like that change? Let's just... Okay. So let's make it so it's going to stay 242. So moop, moop or moop. And here, this one is going to be different between the two dialects. And we're going to say and we have an unintentionally funny phrasing here. So it's mutmu or mutmu. Mutmu. And that is fresh keep. Yeah. Yeah, meat should be preserved by drying, smoking, and or salting, sugaring. That might be something I work on in the future. So we've made 3 words now, huh? And we can get rolling and keep on working on more. So let's think about yeah. So we've got meal, preserve, spoil. Other people having ideas about what we can make. To fast. To fast. So let's go to fast. And this is obviously fast has a lot of meanings in English, but I can, when I'm working on translations, I can. Where is the? Let's see. Okay. Practice of religious abstinence, to abstain from food. Okay. Is this from a different etymology than the other fast? Yeah, kind of. This is still from fastas, which I don't think I'm sure if I want to. Oh my. Okay, so in English, this came from the idea of holding a fast. It didn't have anything to do with food. Oh, we've got different Chinese dialects. Let's open and take a look at these. So, extinct, to disappear your food, the food. Or, yeah, prohibit, forbid, endure no food. What? Swear off, warn against. So, yeah, so prohibit food. That's interesting. Yeah. Let me think about that here. And what's this? Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of prohibit food. Let's go actually look at a few other apostata. The Finnish, sometimes Finnish has some etymologies, at least because it's agglutinative. You can go and look at like compounding that happens or whatever derivation that happens. And it's just borrowed from Swedish. Wonderful. Um, Kufunga in Swahili. Uh, no etymology, but it has clothes. Yeah. What? Um, so close, fasten, lock up, tie up, jail, lock up, score a goal, whatever, are fast. I don't know how reliable that is. Uh, no, Fie, I am doing Lexember words. I've gotten 3 down, and my goal is to get 9 by the time I'm done streaming. So feel free to help me with ideas for words or anything. It looks like we're kind of on a food theme, and I'm working on fast right now. And I think I have an idea now. I think we're going to say you are maybe not lock up, maybe hide. If you're fasting, you're going to hide the food. What do you guys think? So let's see if I have any word for to hide or to conceal. And we can. I seem to remember having a word for hide, but hide. No. And it's not going to be. That's not a basic word. That's not going to be on Leipzig Jakarta. So let's look around at some of these. We've got a bunch of unassigned words here. Can I sort this in a way? Yeah, data, sort by the last column here and sort that. And okay, so we've got all of my blank ones here that I haven't used. So these, and we have 2 dialects, so those are right here. Yeah. No problem. I don't have a whole lot of people listening, so I'm willing to catch people up. So, to hide or to conceal. Jie. I like jie. Ji and jie. So we go with this. And we have had the idea that rice also means food in general. So it's going to be like rice hide. Yeah. Let me note that down. This is hide or conceal. Sometimes this is just notes. With actual dictionary definitions, I would probably be going further to clarify, but even in just notes, sometimes you want to put 2 different gloss words just to say, okay, I mean hide, not in the term not meaning animal skin, but meaning to conceal something. So that's useful. So it's here we have chi and jie, ji and jie. Okay, I do really need to. And what is rice? Wool. Wait, am I using cooked rice for these things, or am I using? So what is the P. B is just rice. In general. And then I have cooked rice. Cooked rice is woo, woo. So do I want to, I think I want to actually, okay, I'm gonna, chu. Does that sound good? Rice spoil could mean rice wine. That's I mean there I have definitely seen things like that. For example, the Chinese word for yogurt is suannai, is sour milk. Um, so that kind of thing does happen. Um, I think there's a word for cheese that's similar, but I usually just use the borrowed English word for cheese. So I don't know that off the top of my head. To be. Where else have I used rice? Where else have I used rice? Control F, rice. So this is the only place, and I've used it here. So I am going to make a decision because I previously made a mistake, and it gets harder the further you go. But I'm going to actually change this. So this is the uncooked rice. And like make B the cooked rice. I think. Is there a reason? Let me. No, no, no. I can't. No. I'm not going to do that. Because I think I know why I had uncooked rice in there. Because it's because when you are doing that, I think it was the process of, rice flour. I think when you are making rice flour to make into the rice noodles, you actually are using uncooked rice because you grind it up. I think that is right. But at the same time, I do not like this in this compound. In these compounds. So I'm going to do something with this cooked rice, and I'm just going to Control C and get a different random number and try to get a different word here. That's too similar. Nip. Nip. No, I'm not. No, I'm not super happy with that. Eat. Eat. Make rice. Eat. I mean, anything is fine. Am I clipping? Oh my. Anything is fine, Nell. Just ideas of concepts is fine with me. Just get anything. Wee. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I have changed my word for rice, for cooked rice, to wui. And I can put that in here. And it will be in this word. So what was our word for to hide? It was qi, ji and jie, wui ji and wui jie. So, all right, all of that just to say to fast, as in to not eat, is hiding the rice. And I'm not going to just like, I don't want, and we could eventually have like variations on that. We could have, we have hiding the rice. We could have hiding the bowls, hiding the flour, all kinds of different variations in that. So I'll actually make a note. Maybe some dialect variation. That we're not representing here right now. Because I don't want it to like feel like this language is stereotypical or something. So okay, so we've gotten 4 words. We have a root for fresh. I think I want to make a compound word for fresh, since we already have that root. And so for that, I am going to think about what's my strategy there. Because, so, there are multiple different strategies that, so, this, continuing with my not Chinese theme, there are multiple different strategies that Chinese uses to just take a monosyllabic root and turn it into a disyllabic word. Compounding, just straight up compounding is not the only way. You can add a descriptor. You can compound it with a synonym. Or they have some little stem extenders, like the z stem extender or lao in word for tiger is lao hu. Lao, the character, actually means old, but it doesn't mean anything here. Hu by itself means tiger, but they extended it to make it 2 syllables. I'm not sure I'm going to do a stem extender here. Synonyms. What's a synonym for fresh? Let's look at clicks again and think about, so fresh, new, and good, and new. So we could make a word that means fresh or new. That's something we can work with. So let's actually do that. So where can you get new from? New. Okay. English is boring because it just meant new all the way back to Proto-Indo-European, uh, which is yeah. Okay, so I guess I need to go down here. Recently made or created. Okay, Jesus. How many of words for? Okay, it's two in standard Arabic and then a bunch of different ones in different Arabics. From the root JDD, related to newness or related to seriousness? Oh, that's interesting, but not something. And HDS. Oh, fresh, young, crispy, baby, colorful, not wilted. Yeah, so I already have a root for fresh. Although young, adding young, maybe this was just picked or harvested. Okay. Harvested. Fresh picked. Yeah. I think maybe it meant that. Maybe it could have meant that historically. No. Um, Maybe I can have a word that meant to pick in the original proto language, but now it means it went through fresh and then means something like new. And let me do my sorting thing, and we go. So what do you think? So let's actually go to the proto language. What do people think might have meant pick? So we've got mekfa, etu, nifu, mifa, etu. Sorry, mekfa, etu, nifu, mifa, ditu, ako, pubi, bumi, iwa, nidam, tiwu, pigi, diga, wupu, matma. Let's see. I think pigi, but that becomes p. I think I'm going to go with ako become uk. Yeah, uk. So pick. Yeah, so something like to pick, pull up, harvest, and that became uk, which meant new. And it doesn't matter so much which direction these go, but if we have mut and are these the same? It's going to be uk either way. So it's going to be either mut uk or ukmut. Mutak. Mutak. I don't have an IPA table. You mean like oh, you mean I just forgot to switch to Excel. Here we go. Yeah. Mutak. How about that? Mutak. And that means fresh or new. And it's sort of a fresh new. Yeah, so that's 5. We're getting there. We're past the hour, but I'll go a little bit past the hour. I mean, people stream for like 2 hours often, right? So let's see. Okay. Let's think about what are we going to do next? Um, what can we think of to do? So we've done a meal, preserve, spoil, fast, and fresh or new. Uh, Let me think about what else. If anybody has ideas about other words that we can throw in, that will be interesting. Let me look at some words that other people have made. If I go to the Lexember tag. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at so we did preserve. We did our own version of preserve here, and roommate. I don't know if I'm gonna think about like living situations and what that would culturally translate into. Mastodon. I'm gonna reblog that one. Cotton wool. I have to figure out where cotton spider. What does the cultural preservation of a meal look like? That's a good question. I think that they're going to have some similarity with food culture in China in the terms of like often with especially with a fancier meal you would have your bowl of rice and the dishes laid out for everyone to pick from, right? Um, I do not know if they're going to use chopsticks or if I'm going to try to invent some like different kind of eating utensil. It's kind of one of those things where like, am I making this too close and making it purely just a Chinese coded culture, or am I, or am I like being original enough? I things that I think about. Uh, I have a root meaning bowl that I've created, and let me think about what kind of other. So I've had foods. The I think people saw the previous Lexember words and they kind of got on the idea of food, right? By seeing these foods. Um, Specific name for the main bowl of rice? Maybe. Maybe. Or, you know what? Mm, let me quickly find something. So, uh, MDBG. because this is a concept that I think I will have them to have. Food. So, okay. So here's something that I will think about here. So, can people see the actual thing? Let me control and actually scoot it over a little bit in here so you can see my fireworks. Oh. I'm looking at my mouse in the wrong place. So, see, Chinese has this idea of a staple food or a non-staple food, right? Rice or noodles is a staple food. Any meal needs to have rice or noodles. Okay? So, carrying that over, I think I can carry that whole concept over to the con culture, and now I need to think about what does that mean. So, like, if I look up 主食, that comes from like host or master plus food. Not sure if I would want to do that. And so it doesn't have like any translations listed on the Chinese. So let's look at the common English translation of that, and we can look at basic food, huh? And gosh, the German. Look at this German word. What the heck is the pieces of this? Okay, so, and I couldn't Gunnerungsmittels. This has to be a crazy compound, but I do not have the time. Let's look at the finish here. Okay. Paris is primal, basic, elemental, and food stuff. Okay. And we have, that's just base food in Italian. And okay, apparently in Serbo-Croatian there's like a simple word. Raw material. Okay. So let's see. Let's think about what we can do. So a staple food. And I think I like the idea of main or major. Major being like a part of that. So like we can have major and minor. Let's make droit mean like major, main, and then do I have something for to eat? That's meat, not eat. To eat is tu. So we've got Q. And oh, why is it? So we've got tu, toi, so it is eat major, is your major food. Oh, okay, so the German is like basic foodstuffs. Yeah, that's basically the meaning that we're thinking of. So I'm going major, call it major and minor foods. And it's not, I don't want to call it sides because that will make it different than what it is. Because meat is included in this. But non-staple, whatever. But we'll still call it minor foods. Mum na p tick tick. Yes, minor is tick. Oh, come on. And double check. And this one is going to have that tone deleted. Eat minor. And I can work on that to eat. Maybe it is a historical word for to eat that might mean something different now or might be more formal now. It could be a lot of things, but the major eats and the minor eats. And we've got 7. Okay, so let's see with that. My goal was 9 words, so that I have the full week until the next stream, plus the 2 days that I missed the past 2 days. So, and yeah, so say this is stream 1. Everything after this was stream 1. So we can go in and say, so 2 more things. We can have be butch was pork. Yeah. Do they eat the... So horse is in quotation marks here because it's not a horse. It's a different kind of animal that in this world takes the same niche as horses in domestication, in that they are mounts and draft animals. But it has horns, and it's probably belongs to the bovidae family or something similar. Do they eat these things? That's a question. Well, I can eat it. So what was the cruel is the... Yeah. horned horse is a cruel. So we could actually go with that. So it's cruel, and the word for meat is beep. Beep. Beep cruel. If they don't eat it, somebody else eats it that lives near them. So the cruel meat. Beep cruel. Beep cruel. And that gives us 8. Okay. Let's make our final word a nice one. Anybody has a... So it's called minor, even though it isn't. Yeah, that's a good observation, right? So, like, if you... Now, so sometimes things do feel counterintuitive. Because, especially when you are actually trying to create a different culture or being inspired by other cultures, because in a way, meat can be sort of treated as minor in actual Chinese cuisine, because they cut it up into small pieces and put it into noodles, or they cut it up into small pieces and put a bunch of stuff together, and it's like not like you rarely have the situation like in Western cuisine where you have a big slab of meat on your plate, right? So in a way it is, but in the same time, meat is very important to the culture because it's expensive and it's a sign of wealth. And I think I am going to have the same dynamic occur within this story. Maybe even not just in this culture, but in other cultures as well, because it's a fantasy story, not necessarily the level of technology that we have now. So maybe not having meat be as prevalent. I realized. Are you guys hearing me only out of one ear? Because if so, I need to figure out how to fix that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if anybody's listening with headphones, hopefully I sound a little bit better. Okay. So we have the horse meat here. We have... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I should have fixed that now. So that's something I need to remember in the future, to make sure that my mic is in mono mode, because I don't want people to like only hear me from one side. There's a lot of reasons not to be doing that. Okay. So dessert. Oh, do they have dessert? I'm going to hold off on saying dessert now. Dessert, specifically the concept of dessert. Because again, I have this loosely based on Chinese culture, and in Chinese culture, dessert is not really like a separate course. At least not traditionally, I think. But they do have sweets. So let's think about, do we want a generic word for sweets, or do we want something like sweet cakes or candy, or some specific kind of sweet thing that people eat? Anyone have any ideas on that, on like a specifics? They will have sugar. I don't know if I'm going to make sugar a loan word or a native word. I might as well make it a native word, I think. Um, Even though I don't think they are actually going to be the people who uh, first cultivated sugar or domesticated it, um, they might still have it from some other source that's internal. Um, Mostly, I just don't want to deal with loanwords at this point because I don't have most of the other languages ready. But we can think about. I don't have. The milk of the horned horses. Let me keep that as a thing. I might have other cultures use that. Um, because that sounds like a cool idea. Or I might have this culture use it. Because I don't have to make them like not like milk. Um, so I'm going to reserve that idea and think about whether I want to introduce it. But that's a really cool idea. Let me think more on the sweets side of things. We got ideas like things like cakes or candies or just sugar cane. People just eat sugar cane sometimes. You get the and so let me do some research on sugar cane. Um, Words for sugar cane. Just like, because and that's something that I've encountered in China is people actually take the raw sugar cane and like you peel it back and you suck on the sap. Um, yeah, dried fruit and honey. I think I have a word for honey already. Um, where's I remember making a word for bee and as part of making a word for honey, but no, I don't have honey. I probably should. I have bee, don't I? Yeah, we have qi. Qi means bee. Let me go back to that. I don't know why I don't have honey, but I can continue on my idea of sugarcane and come with that. So obviously it's kind of the cane part is just like a stick, right? Oh, from a word for reed, from Akkadian kanu meaning reed, and all the way from Sumerian. That's interesting. So it actually referred to something like a sugar cane or a similar type of plant before it came to mean a walking stick, right? That's an interesting thing to know now. Always be on the lookout for stuff like that, huh? Um, let's let's go find whatever we can here. Um, we've got a couple of Indian languages, it looks like, and India is where sugarcane was first. I don't think um, it's been domesticated much longer, and that's where granulated sugar came from. But I think it actually comes from uh, some Polynesian islands, some Austronesian islands originally. But so this is obviously these are going back to Sanskrit. Sugarcane and eyelash. I don't understand the connection there. Um, this is also going to the same Sanskrit root. But again, these people did not domesticate sugarcane, and are not super old users of sugarcane necessarily. Uh, but it can be useful to have in terms of people who are likely to have older. So here, this is one thing with Wiktionary is I'm not always sure how accurate it is, but like here it said Maori for sugar cane was to, and here the closest I'm seeing is like plant stem or stalk, which maybe that's also referring to sugar cane, but that's yeah. Nay shakar. So that shakar looks like the same root as sugar. So they probably got the shakara and whatever this nay is. Yeah, it's literally the same thing as English. They had exactly the same idea. Maybe one borrowed from the other. Ikshu. Ikshu is borrowed from Sanskrit, and that's in Tocharian B. I don't even know what this language is. I know Lao, but it's from Proto-Thai. Okay. And I mean, even Thai had sugarcane. So maybe we just make a root that was just sugarcane. They're not all in a tropical area though, so I don't know how familiar they were with sugarcane before. Can I find, do I have the Chinese word for sugarcane here? Ganja. And also zhetang. Zhetang zhe by itself means sugarcane, and then tang means sugar, sweets. I can take a look at it's this sugar from sugarcane. So zhe by itself. And where does zhe come from? Just to get an idea. Wikipedia does not have. It has an etymology for the character, but not for the actual word. Which those are two different things when you're looking at Chinese. And I'm not doing writing anyway, so I'm not like, it would be interesting. It could be inspiration, but it's not the thing I'm looking for. So what's this? Ganja. What is this? How does this break down? Oh, it's a synonym compound. They both mean sugarcane. And this also can mean sweet. So, let's go with just having something that means reed and something that means sweet. So I don't have. Okay. So let's go. I think we can mean reed or cane, or just reed, and then sweet. What do people think for sweet? Let me show you my Excel. I understand why David just shows his screen rather than actually trying to be fancy like me. And we have mup, ut, neep, meep, dew, 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 ya, na, chi, p. I like dill, meaning sweet. So, and so, puidio. Was it, is it, wait, is it pui or bui? Bui, okay. Puidio. And that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 words done. All right, so I'm done. All right. So, all right. That's it for this stream. I just wanted to get my goal of words done, and later on I will write these up and make social media posts, and then I can come again next week, and hopefully you guys will join me, and we can come up with 7 more words then. Yeah. Yay! Had a fun time. Well, see you all next time. Have a great day, and happy conlanging.